Hello and welcome to Craigslist Picks. Now the rules here are pretty simple. I just go up on Craigslist and look wherever. Could be anywhere, but most of these are going to be from Florida. So I just look at what cars there are and I pick the ones that I would buy for myself if I could afford them. And they're going to be either rare, super modified stuff or just weird. It's whatever, really. So let's make it simple to start off. We have a 280Z 77 with a 2JZ. It says 9,500 or best offer, and then it says 8,500. So I guess if you don't feel like paying 95, you could pay 85. I don't know. And it's in Orange County. Now, pretty simple stuff here. Stock bodywork. Looks totally factory from the outside, and it's got a naturally aspirated 2JZ. So if you just want a good driving 280Z, nothing crazy, I don't think you can do much better than that. And I don't really know what the market for 280Zs is, but 8,500 seems like a good deal to me, considering that it's been fully stripped out and has no rust. I'd totally fire off on that. Next, we have something I never thought I'd see, a Lexus SC400 dragster. Now, this has the factory engine. It's got like forged pistons and connecting rods, so you don't have to worry about any of that blowing up. And it's got a 6-speed transmission because the automatic was too weak. And it's also got twin turbos. And the owner claims that it will run a quarter mile in 11 seconds flat in its current configuration, but it could go faster. 25 grand for an SC400, that's steep. Even with, all the shit that's been put into it, I don't think he's going to get that much, but more power to him, right? Here in Miami, we have another 2JZ swap, but this is a Mercedes-Benz 250 sedan, 1971, and it's on bags. I could definitely see myself rolling in one of these. Just everywhere you go, you feel like a member of the Russian mob. And it's also got a old Heineken tap for a shifter, so I guess that's neat. Now you look in the engine bay here and you can tell that it's not a 71 motor. They do have it painted up to where it at least matches the body here. I don't know, some people might be mad that you get rid of the Mercedes engine, but I'd much rather roll one of these with something that I know is going to last. Here's the deal of the day. In Lenore, North Carolina, $800 for a 1987 Suzuki Samurai. No title, so that's not great. But it does have some mud tires on it, and it comes with its own testicles, so that's basically worth the entire value of the vehicle right there. Now, I quote the owner, and it says it kind of runs. The carburetor needs some serious attention, and the motor has a rattle to it. It sounds like wrist pins or bearings are about wore out. So, bring your own LS to stick in there. Speaking of LS, here we've got a 1983 El Camino with an LS1 swap. Like I said, if I just had money to throw around, I'd definitely get an 80s El Camino. People probably think they're lame, but to me, there's just this trashy coolness about it, and I wouldn't mind rolling around in one. This guy wants 16 grand for it. I don't think he'll ever get that for an El Camino, but we'll see. This next one I think is my favorite. Here we've got a 1980 Mustang with a full drivetrain from a Terminator Cobra, making 600 horsepower, or that's what he claims at least. And it's also got a bunch of other shit here, supercharger from a GT500, forged stuff, a new ECU, new fuel pump, new drive shaft, a T56 with stronger straight cut gears, so beware the sound of that. I don't know how that's going to work out. Headers, intercooler, built 8.8 rear end, 2004 Mustang GT brakes, Kevlar clutch, Hers shifter, electric fans, air fuel gauge and boost gauge, as well as additional oil pressure and coolant temp gauges, subframe connectors, and new wheels, methanol injection. So it's got a whole bunch of shit. And he wants 11 grand for it, 11,800. Now, just the car alone, honestly, a clean Fox body right now might go for like 8 grand. So you get that and you get the Terminator motor. Like seriously, if you wanted to make some money off of this, you could probably just pull the motor out, put a 302 in and sell the motor and then sell the car back. It does have a McDonald's red interior, so that's a drawback, but it's the 80s. What can you do? Next up, we have a Toyota MR-2 rail buggy in Central South Carolina for $14,500. This guy, apparently likes making off-road vehicles out of MR-2s. He says he's only put 1,300 miles on it after he rebuilt everything, and he does this just because he likes making these things. So I guess if he can find buyers for it, like, totally go for it, but it's kind of weird. I mean, like I said, if I could just throw holy shit money around, I'd totally have this thing, whatever it is. But honestly, I'm not sure about the off-road capability of a Toyota MR-2. It looks like it's just stock suspension, just with bigger tires. And he got away with that because he just ripped the fenders right off. Now, I saved the best for last. We've got a 1994 Lamborghini Diablo. Now, it's a little rough around the edges because it's actually a Fiero. But what other Lamborghini are you going to get for $7,200? As you can see, it needs some trimming on the fiberglass here. It's got whatever wheels these are. It says the kit was 12 grand new, and I have added in 19-inch Oz rims, Gallardo clone wheels for $900. You can tell this guy's invested a lot into this project already, and it's probably going to show. And then we've also got a picture of a finished replica, which I'm pretty sure is not a replica at all, but actually a regular Diablo. And then we've got a picture of what looks like a model of Diablo. The owner claims that the red Diablo is a replica and is fetching $35,000, which I don't know about that. But I do know that you're getting a hell of a deal for $7,200 for a Diablo, and it looks like the doors are zip-tied shut here. That's not great, but it's a work in progress. What can you do? He is including a 3800 supercharged V6 that you can swap in yourself, but isn't in the car yet. So you got to do some work in, but it's going to be worth it in the end. I mean, honestly, a supercharged 3800, that's like 250 horsepower. That's going to be way faster than a real Diablo. And that's about it for Craigslist picks. If you know somebody that's selling something really stupid, or you found it on the internet or whatever, go ahead and post a link in the comments. And if enough people like this, I might even make another episode. So, see ya.